Movie Mancher, today we'll be recapping The Farm. The film commences as a man and woman embark on a journey along a rural country lane. The woman inquires of the man that she needs to relieve herself, and not just anywhere in the foliage, but at a proper rest stop. Arriving at a spot where Nora could use the restroom, they find it locked and deserted. It's to go to the back while Alec waits in the car. In the rear, Nora discovers a wallet and a mobile phone. Further ahead, there's a human skull, but she misses it. After finishing, Nora rejoins Alec. While on the road, they come across a woman whose car appears to be malfunctioning. Alec takes the initiative to help, leaving Nora engaged in conversation with the woman. Unfortunately, the woman's attitude becomes unpleasant, leading Nora to signal to Alec that they should move on from the encounter. Continuing their journey, they stumble upon a diner where they are served burgers and French fries. Nora takes a moment to compliment the quality of the coffee. As they enjoy their meal, Alec becomes aware of a man who is seemingly fixated on them. Upon leaving the diner, the man grabs Nora's arm and urgently warns them that the place isn't safe, urging them to leave. Back in the car, they discuss the encounter, labeling the man as a potential psycho. En route, they stop at a gas station to refuel and make purchases at the shop. They inquire with the attendant about finding accommodation for the night. The man suggests cabins located off the main road. Upon arriving at the nearly vacant cabin, they explore its rooms, ascending the stairs. Just as they are about to depart, a man with a disfigured mouth, engrossed in cleaning, addresses them. He inquires if they are seeking lodgings for the night and invites them to follow him to their room. Despite the man's attempts at conversation, Nora's response is brusque as she asserts their fatigue. As he exits, the man forcefully shuts the door. Unbeknownst to Nora and Alec, the other bed in the room is stained with blood. Later that night, as they sleep, an individual emerges from beneath their bed. The individual gaze fixates on Nora and Alec. The person is also wearing a mask resembling that of a sheep. The following morning, Nora awakens to find herself confined within a cage. A man donning a mask resembling a goat knocks on the enclosure, just as she attempts to call out for Alec. Fueled by desperation, Nora endeavors to break the lock using a small stone. However, her efforts are interrupted when the masked individuals drench her with an unfamiliar liquid. Subsequently, Nora regains consciousness in a room, only to discover herself bound and immobilized, her limbs tightly restrained. A masked man is present, administering an injection that introduces a substance into her. Filled with alarm, she repeatedly cries out, "What have you done to me?" Later, Nora is then placed in a makeshift enclosure, and she is subsequently transported to various locations. Through her constrained vantage point, she observes numerous individuals wearing animal masks engaged in labor. The intensity escalates as she witnesses a chilling sight. A naked man suspended from a structure, while another individual appears to be involved in a disturbing activity, potentially involving human flesh. In the following scene, the focus shifts to Alec, who finds himself amidst a group of naked men confined in similar enclosures. Masked individuals enter the area, delivering forceful blows to the heads of the other men. As Alec witnesses this brutality, he begins make no's in protest. The masked figures turn their attention to him, and after a brief struggle, they manage to strike Alec as well. In the subsequent scene, the man with the disfigured mouth communicates with another individual wearing a mask. He informs them that the food should be ready to serve in approximately 3 hours. The man then makes his way to the kitchen to oversee the progress and instructs the cooks to ensure everything is perfect. Shortly after, a call is received, indicating that the guests are nearing their arrival. The man advises the masked companion to prepare a special referring to their dairy cattle. Subsequently, they move to a disturbing scene where the cattle are revealed to be female humans, being mechanically milked like dairy cows. In the following scene, the focus shifts to Nora, who is situated nearby. Eager to understand the situation, she engages in conversation with a woman next to her. The woman reveals that they are treated like livestock, akin to cattle, and shares her own harrowing experience of being in this place for 2 years. She laments that due to the treatment, she has lost the ability to give birth and produce milk. Subsequently, Nora's attention is drawn to another woman named Ashley, who is audibly sobbing from a distant location. Nora learns that Ashley has been there for approximately 2 weeks. Determined to offer solace, Nora assures Ashley that they will find a way to escape this ordeal. However, Ashley, overwhelmed by her circumstances, rejects Nora's offer, unable to muster the hope to believe in a way out. The following scene portrays the tragic demise of the woman next to Nora, who was unable to produce at the hands of the masked men. Nora, overcome by fear, clutches herself in a corner of the room. Suddenly, she senses a presence attempting to enter. As the door slowly opens, she's relieved to see that it's Alec. Their eyes meet, and in unison, they utter the words, "Let's get out of here." Alec struggles to walk, prompting Nora to offer her assistance. They move cautiously, evading the masked individuals along the way. Eventually, they find an old truck and Nora attempts to start it. However, their efforts attract the attention of a masked man who starts to investigate. In a tense moment, they almost get caught, but their luck changes when the man hears a distant bell. This distraction allows them a narrow escape as the man departs from the scene. They begin their escape and chance upon a church along the way. Inside the church, they come across a drawing depicting men in masks. Suddenly, Alec spots a masked man passing by outside and discreetly signals Nora. They quickly hide at the back of the church. The masked man enters through the front door and assumes a posture of prayer. Seizing the opportunity, Nora and Alec attempt to slip away. However, their movements alert the masked man, who starts pursuing them with determination. As they flee, the man chasing them rings the bell, intensifying the urgency. During their escape, they come across a trap that ensnares Alec's foot. Nora's heart races as she spots 2 masked men approaching. In a heart-wrenching moment, she makes a difficult decision and leaves Alec behind. Tragedy strikes as the masked men reach Alec and brutally strike her head with a massive stone. Nora dashes into an area where other captives are confined, seeking refuge. After finding a hiding spot, she approaches a man in one of the enclosures and pleads for guidance on escaping. The man, desperate and pleading, informs her about a bus parked at the rear that the masked individuals use for transportation. If she can obtain the keys from the office, she might find a way out. Fueled by this glimmer of hope, Nora bolts from the hiding spot. However, as she rushes past the man with the disfigured mouth and his accomplice, they lock eyes and break into sinister laughter. Nora proceeds cautiously, staying hidden. Along her path, she observes a masked man entering a car and driving off. Swiftly, she follows in pursuit. After covering some distance, the car begins to slow down, eventually coming to a stop. Seizing the opportunity, Nora acts quickly. Grabbing a nearby hammer, she confronts the masked man and manages to overpower him, neutralizing the threat. Casting a glance over her shoulder, Nora realizes that the masked individuals are still in pursuit, relentlessly chasing her. Determined to flee, she takes control of the car and accelerates away. However, her relief is short-lived as she notices the car's speed gradually decreasing. Upon investigation, she discovers that the car has run out of gas. Once again, a wave of frustration washes over Nora, dimming her hopes for a successful escape. Nora makes a split-second decision and exits the car, sprinting on foot. She navigates through the unfamiliar territory, weaving through a kitchen and descending into a basement. Just as she's on the verge of escaping through a window, a masked man seizes her. Acting instinctively, Nora manages to jab the man with a sharp nail she had with her. Successfully breaking free, she flees the scene, only to find herself returning to the very location where her cell was situated earlier. Determined to free Ashley, Nora rushes to her and manages to release her restraints. Ashley initially hesitates, but Nora's persistence prevails, and she pulls Ashley along as they run towards the bus. Reaching the bus, they hastily board and start the engine. However, upon taking a moment to catch their breath, Ashley's gaze fixates on the seats inside. Nora follows her stare and realizes that the bus is filled with masked individuals, contrary to what they expected. The unsettling truth dawns upon them. The man in the den had lied, and they are still in grave danger. In the final moments, a chilling scene unfolds as a picture reveals the masked individuals preparing Nora and Ashley as a grim feast. The image captures them placed on display with apples in their mouths, symbolizing a disturbing and macabre fate that awaits them.